महोदय
नमः सर्वेभ्यः स्वागतं कक्ष्यायां। तु अस्माभिः प्रातःकालीन कक्ष्यायां एतावत् पर्यन्तं पठितं तृतीयभागपर्यन्तं द्वितीय अध्यायस्य अथवा द्वितीयपाठस्य तृतीयभागपर्यन्तं पठितं। चतुर्थभागः अस्ति सङ्ग्राह्य विषयाः। सङ्ग्रहणम् इत्युक्ते अत्र ज्ञानस्य सङ्ग्रहणं न तु पदार्थस्य, शब्दपदार्थस्य अपि न तु वास्तविकधनविषये उक्तिः। सङ्ग्राह्य इत्युक्ते यत् सङ्ग्रहीतुं सम्यक् अस्ति तत् सङ्ग्राह्यः। सङ्ग्राह्यविषयाः तद्विषये। किमस्ति अत्र? अद्य गणेशः, अस्माकं प्रियः गणेशः, तस्य स्तुतिः श्लोकद्वये दीयते अत्र ज्ञातुं। पठामः। गणेशः गणानाम् ईशः। गणेशः शिवगणानाम् ईशः गणेशः इत्यपि वक्तुं शक्नुमः। अगजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदं तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। अगजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदं तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे. Okay, so that is what we are looking at here. So let us break it up a little bit. Okay, I have it here below for those who want to visually follow. So Agaja Anana Padma Arkam. Of course, I cannot actually read like that. It is a little non-technical way of reading, but for our convenience, I have done a little bit non-standard hyphenation. Agaja Anana Padma Arkam. So Agaja is one Pratipadika there. Anana is another Pratipadika. Padma is a third Pratipadika. Arka is the fourth Pratipadika, and with its Vibhakti, it is Arkam. That is in the karma position to such a person. So what is this Agaja Anana Padma Arkam? There is a whole Samastapada engineering behind that. Okay, Agaja, here up in the blue you see this. Okay, Agaja. Okay, Agaha in Sanskritam means Parvata. Okay, Agaha. Okay, Agaha means Parvata. So Agaja is she who is born from Parvata. So Parvatasya Putri. Actually, Parvati is a construction from Parvatasya Putri only. So just like Dasharati for Rama, same way. So Parvati for our dear mother. So Parvatasya Putri atava Agaja, like that. Okay, another variation of Parvati is Agaja. So that is the Agaja. Okay, we got that. Anana. What is Anana in Sanskritam? Ananam is the correct full form of the word in the Pumsakalinga, means Mukham. Mukham. Okay, so face. Okay, so Agaj, Parvati is there, then face is there. Next, Padma. Padma, who doesn't know Padma? Padmam is Kamalam. Kamalam. So that is a lotus. Okay, so we have Parvati, we have face, lotus. Next, what we have? Arkaha is the next pada in Pratama Ekavachana. Arkaha. Arkaha is the name for Surya. Suryaha, Arkaha. Okay. There is a everything is, there is a reason why he is called Arka also. We will not go so much into all that, but it is from the movement of the sun in that we see, we call it Arka. Anyway, Surya, or maybe some other reason is there. Anyway, let's not worry now. Okay, so we have Parvati, face, lotus, and Surya. So what could be the engineering of this word? So one who is like the sun for the lotus face of Parvati. Go in the reverse order. sun, to the sun, not the SON sun, to the SUN sun. He also happens to be SON son of Parvati, but let us just take SUN sun. To the sun who is like the sun, okay? Who is like the sun for to the face of lotus face which is like a lotus like face of Parvati. What a beautiful, colorful construction for naming Ganesha and then addressing him as the Karma Pada in the Vakya. Okay. To that fellow who is like the bright sun, um, to the lotus which is awaiting that sun to bloom. Okay. And to that lady whose face is like that lotus. So in the end, it is Ganesha's name only. Okay, as the sun to the face of Parvati, like that. Okay, she brightens her face whenever she sees him, just like the lotus brightens up upon seeing sun in the early morning. Same way, anybody who has actually cultivated lotus or lilies, they know how they actually stay in a sad pose through the night, and then in the morning they open up brilliantly. So that's exactly how this description is just too lovely. Then Gajanana Maharnisham. How does that go? It goes Gaja Ananam. There is actually a sandhi break there. The Samastapada ends there. Then Aharnisham is Ahaha plus Nisham. Okay. So Gaja Ananam is the next Karma Pada qualifier for same Ganesha. One whose Anana, which we already knows means Mukha, and Gaja means elephant. So to the fellow who is elephant faced. Very simple direct reference to Ganesha. There is no much confusion there. Okay. Not even, I mean, all the simile color that exists in the previous word exists here. This is the most colorful word. Then Aharnisham. Okay. So this Aharnisham is not so much direct reference to Ganesha. So you can, in a kavitva, using kavitva, you can say he is everything to us. So he is like day and night to us. So we call him Aharnisha, and so Aharnisham to him, like that we can extend. But here we can take it in a better sense. All the time I pray to him. That sense is better to take. Okay. All the time I pray to him. That's also a better extension. Always I'll pray to him. But you can take the other one. Okay. All right. Then Bhaktanam is the next word. Okay. In the reordered sense. Bhaktanam in the reordered sense. Bhaktanam anekadam tam. Okay. So Bhaktanam is Bhaktasya Bhaktayoho Bhaktanam. Of the Bhaktas, of those devotees, of the devotees, Aneka Dam. To the one who gives many things which are their desire. Okay. Tam, to that fellow. It's just a Padapuraka. It does not really need it, but it is to that fellow. Like that again has been put. So Anekadam is the beautiful construction. Okay. So many people read this as Anekadantam. Okay. They take the Anuswara Bindu, attach it as a Nakara to the Takara and go Anekadantam. They know Danta as his ivory tusk. And then say Anekadantam means the one who has many ivory tusks. Where poor fellow Ganesha, he has lost one of his beautiful ivory tusks. How can you call him Aneka Danta? You can't really call him Aneka Danta. You have to go searching Airavata in Indraloka to find Aneka Danta. So that is because most of us make a mistake. It is Anekadam, which is the Karma Pada termination there, and then Tam as a Pada Puraka. So Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam. So Bhaktanam Anekadam, to that fellow who is the granter of all the graces of variety, that kind of thing, to them. Okay. Ekadantam. Here we get danta. See, here there is no confusion. It's not aneka. Aneka means not one. Okay, he has 1.25. Okay. You can say that can be taken also. But ekadantam is more accurate. To the fellow with one tusk. Okay, ekadantam. So ekadantah yasya ekameva dantah asti saha ekadantah. Dantah asti va dantam asti va dantam asti prayah. Yasya ekameva dantam asti saha ekadantah pullinge. Okay, so then tam ekadantam again in karma position. Vayam is implicit because upasmahe is Uttama Purusha form. Okay, so we will do upasana to him. So aharnisham upasmahe. You can take that way. Day and night we will pray to him. That also we can take. Now, if you see the English translation, at this level, they are not expecting us to do such micro analysis. By the way, I have already told you, this is something that I am adding value just so that we take a look and start appreciating a little bit. But there is no need to for you to memorize this kind of breakups or even find anything like that. Generally, questions related to this shlokas will be at the whole level, just like it's there in the book. But it is interesting for us to understand a little bit more. Even here, I am not going so deep. For example, I have to explain, oh, somebody might ask now, what is upasmahe, how it is, what Uttama Purusha. We will not go so far. Okay, there are many, like we know that there is Parasmai Padi, Atmane Padi, etc. and different lakaras. So one of the lakaras in one Padi will have that form. We can dig that information up and answer. So that's okay. But get the bhava of it. Upasana, upasmahe. We will do upasana. It's a direct application of the dhatu. Okay. Huh. Here I have here. Ahaha means pratah kalaha. Nisha means ratrihi. So ahar nisha means day and night. Ahar nisham is a karma application of that. Upasana is puja. Dadati saha iti daha. So dam in karma position. I mean, just daha is rarely used. It is used with something like this. Aneka daha, something daha like that. Mukti daha, like that. Okay, we worship him who is like the sun for the lotus face of Parvati. Perfect. So they extended that Vayam Upasmahe to everything literally and then went simply listing the other qualifications. Who has the face of an elephant, Gajananam, who grants many boons to the devotees, Anekadam, Bhaktanam Anekadam Tam. Then who has a single tusk, Ekadantam. They completely forgot how to translate Aharnisham there. Okay, you can take it in many ways, but one of the ways is I pray to him all the time is a better way of taking that. Okay. I don't know why I left it there, Aharnisham. Maybe I should bring it to Aharnisham Upasmahe. Maybe better. Okay. So that is the verse. Let me read it once more. Somebody here is well trained in this meter, this shloka meter, who can sing this well. Anybody wants to volunteer? Ladies here are very talented, I'm sure. Silence.
I can try, sir.
Umaji, try.
Agajanana Padmarkam, Gajananam Aharnisham, Anekadantam Bhaktanam, Ekadantam Upasmahe.
Okay, thanks, Bhagini. Okay, so that is the one. Try to memorize that. There are those who knows it, they can sing it in a nice raga. As we know, a nice Carnatic ragas are available for this. Agajanana Padmarkam, like that it goes. And if I start, it will become only Apaswara, so I won't try. Okay, next one. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Okay, once more I'll just read that. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Now, interesting here, what you see, very rarely we see like this now. It is not having visarga, it just seems to have a kind of short akaranta, hrisva akaranta ending. Vakratunda, Mahakaya, what is this? Samaprabha, these are all Sambodhana. Okay, Sambodhana Pratama, for example, Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha, He Rama. See, we do curtail the Rama Pratipadika as the akaranta. So, He Rama. So that is the Sambodhana Pratama. So same thing here. He Vakratunda, He Mahakaya, He Surya, He Koti Surya Samaprabha, Surya Koti no, He Koti Surya Samaprabha, like that. Okay. Punha He Deva. Okay. And pretty much those are the Sambodhana Pratamas over there. Okay. So we have to understand how this reference Vakratunda comes to our dear Ganesha. Mahakaya, most of us can pick up, big bodied fellow. He is a big bellied fellow, so no problem. Okay. Koti Surya Samaprabha, most of us can pick up. Koti we know, Surya we know, Sama we know, Prabha we know. So we can pretty much say one who is equivalent in brightness to 1 crore suns. Okay, what about one sun for the Padma? He's like 1 crore Suryas to Parvati's face. Okay, all right. Then Nirvigna we know. Nirvignam karma position. Kuru, do. Okay, it's a directive for Kru Dhatu. Kuru, you do. Appeal to the Deva. Me Deva, Mama Deva, my God, my dear God, that sense. Okay, very endearing to add me. Okay, then Sarva Karyeshu, in all works. Saptami Bahuvachana it is. Okay, Adhikarana. So, Karya is the basis. Adhikarana. Sarva Karya, all works, in all my works. Okay, Sarvada, at all times. Okay, so now it's very easy. He Vakratunda, he one with a certain type of quality. What is that? Vakratunda. Tundaha in Sanskritam means Gajanasika. The snorkel nose is called Tunda. Okay, this one. Okay, so that Vakratunda means one with a crooked nose. Trunk essentially is crooked in nature because its flexibility is the reason why it is existing. But anyway, Vakratunda. So it's not in any derogative sense, it's an endearing way to call. I mean, spade is called a spade without any ill intention. Okay, Vakratunda. Now there are two pathas for this. Okay, another patha you see below. He Vaktratunda. Vaktratunda. This can also be explained. This variation. Vaktram in Sanskritam. Vaktram. See this font. Huh? See this letter, how it is constructed. Vaktram means mukham again, just like Ananam. So Vaktratundaha is that fellow. Yasya mukhe tundaha asti saha Vaktratundaha. So face with a snorkel. So a snorkel faced fellow. How direct can Sanskritam be is unbelievable. Okay. So hey Vaktratunda, hey you snorkel faced fellow to Ganesha. So that is also beautiful. Nothing wrong. If you can say Vakratunda, why can't you to say Vaktratunda? Okay. So that's another way. Then Mahakaya. Kaya is body. Okay. Kayaha Shariram. See here, I have a small dictionary right there. Okay. Maha is big. So one with a big body. Koti Surya Samaprabha. So again, I won't break down the Samasapada. So he one whatever thousands suns sama equivalent prabha brightness, the one with the brightness equivalent to 1 crore suns, like that. Okay, sun suns. And sambodhana to such a fellow. Hey such a fellow. Hey me deva. Okay, hey mama deva. Mama me is two alternatives for Shashti Ekavachana of aham shabda. We have used aham, avam, vayam already, right? If you keep running that namapada table, when you come to Shashti, you will hit mama me as two alternatives for Shashti Ekavachana. Mama avayoho asmakam is the triplet normally we practice, but me is an alternate. Okay, for mama. So that is the thing. Me deva or mama deva. Sarva karyeshu, in all my works. Sarvada, at all times. Nirvignam kuru. Make them all without any badha, without any vigna. Like that. Okay. So he is anyway known as Vigna Nivaraka. So that's the appeal. Vigna Vinashaka, some various names are there like that for him.
Okay.
Yes, Mohoday.
Nirvignam, the spelling of Nirvignam
Hmm.
over here is slightly different than in the green.
No. That is font to font variation. In the font
Okay.
that Sanskrit Bharati has used to print, na, Ghakara half is there ahead of the Nakara showing a full. That is the
Okay.
left to right method. Okay.
Okay.
Some fonts use the top and bottom method. Ghakara with the
Okay.
Nakara below.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh, no variation of pronunciation. Gha
Okay.
first, then na, then Okay, nirvignam.
Okay. Nirvighna. Thank you.
No problem. So let me read both the verses. Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Okay, fine. Any questions? Balance remain with this two verses. So you guys need to memorize these verses. They are not too difficult. They are very popular. They are nice anyway to have it in the tip of your tongue. For those of you who do regular prayers, probably this is already in your repertoire, but not necessarily because we will mouth it daily and have a process like that. Even otherwise, it could be very useful to quote these verses in conversations and surprise people. So it can be for material benefit of impressing people. That is not the reason why we learn these verses. Anyway. Okay. As usual, the
Sir,
internet provides beautiful art for Ganapati. I have picked up a couple. Yes, Mahodaya.
sir, here Mama May, it is not suitable for Chaturthi Vibhakti.
There are many places, but it is you can use for my sake sense also.
Okay.
Sir?
Ma aham avam vayam mam avam asmakam maya avabhyam asmabhihi. I don't know. May comes in Chaturthi. Does it come? I have to check.
Sir, Mama May Avayohan.
मम मे आवयोः अस्माकं षष्ठी महोदय.
Shashti.
I don't know where you are picking up Chaturthi. Anyway, we'll check it later. Devaki,
Okay.
you have a question. Devika, you
Yes,
have a question?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, many a time I would used to sing this Gajanana Padmakram, no? Then that time I would used to say Anekadantam. The mistake what you were highlighting, I was doing that. And then I was wondering, how is it Anekadanta and Ekadanta? And today you really enlightened me. Thank you very much.
You can take meaning in Aneka Dantam in one simple way. He's not exactly one Danta. He is having one and a little bit. So he qualifies for one and a little bit, and he qualifies for one because he has only one whole Danta.
Okay.
You can kind of
Meaning,
you can kind of give an interpretation. See, one thing in Sanskritam, it is having enough space for you to work some good meaning. Yeah.
So it is now pronounced as Anekadam.
Anekadam tam with a little avasana,
Okay.
with a little space. Yeah.
Anekadam.
Anekadam tam. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
But of course, in a sloka, when you read fast, it's very difficult to make you don't read avasana. So you will go anekadam tam. See, but there is a subtle
True, true.
differentiation between dantam and damtam. So you can, if you are very clear in your pronunciation, dam and dan will come differently. Yeah, Mahodaya has a question.
Yes, because I wanted to tell that May comes as Chaturthi as well as Shashti. Both
As well
are
as Shashti.
acceptable there.
Okay.
It is there.
You can take the
Yes,
Chaturthi
both
meaning
is
and fit
mentioned
it in, not a problem. Yeah.
No, because in the context only we read. No, it cannot be in Chaturthi because it has
In the
to be in the
context,
context.
May Deva is Mama Deva only is correct. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So we have finished with Ganesha, and Ganesha took quite a bit of time. I think I should go a little faster here. So Sangrah. Okay. Samskrita Vangmaya Parichayaha. So an introduction to a portion of Samskrita. So we will take a student volunteer to help us. What do we have here? We have Rupa Jadhav Varye. You are available for helping us out. Rupa Jadhav.
Yes.
If you can slowly read through this, madam, as best as you can, we'll try to understand from
Upanishad.
Upanishadaha. Okay, little
Daha.
bit ha you give.
Upanishadah. The most important parts of the Vedas are the Upanishads. There are about 108 Upanishads. Among them, 10 are important. Upanishads may contain thoughts about Brahman,
Brahman.
Brahman. Brahman.
Don't make it Brahman. Okay, the Brahman is how we pronounce it in Sanskrit. Brahman. Okay, or Brahman if you want to go Hakara first. Okay, fine.
The most intricate philosophical truths are revealed through some of the dialogues also. Dialogues between Yajnavalkya.
Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya or Yajnavalkya. Ya. When you see a bar on top of A, it is dirgha. Ya, like that. Okay.
Yajnavalkya. Maitri.
Maitreyi.
Maitreyi.
One thing with E, no, the letter E of English is applied to A in Sanskritam, as we saw earlier, no. So because it's applied to A and there is only dirgha available, there is no need to put a bar on top. So they didn't bother, but you have to read it as if there is a bar on top. Maitreyi, not Maitreyi. Maitreyi. See, this is also dirgha I. So ye, Maitreyi, like that. Okay.
Maitreyi.
How do we, don't we love Devanagari Lipi after looking at this?
Yes. Udalaka.
Udalaka.
Udalaka. Swetaketu can be cited.
Shwetaketu. The accent is for Shakar. Shwetaketu. Yeah.
Shwetaketu can be cited as examples.
Okay, I'll just read those Sanskrit names once, just so that confusion goes away. So Yajnavalkya, Maitreyi, Uddalaka, Shwetaketu. This is Shankasha. Okay, with the accent on top, it is Shankasha. With the dot below, it is Shatkonasha. Okay. So we have basically Upanishads. One Upanishad is a conversation between Yajnavalkya and Maitreyi, another Uddalaka and Shwetaketu, etc. Okay, so they have just quoted a couple. Many of them are dialogues between many. For example, we know the famous one Kathopanishad is between Yama and Nachiketa. Nachiketas they write in English for some reason for Pratipadika, but we call him Nachiketa in all Indian languages. So between Yama and Nachiketa is how that conversation goes. Largely there are other elements there, but largely it is a conversation between Yama and Nachiketa. Like this, many are there. Okay. Continue reading, Bhagini.
Yes. Ishavasyopanishad.
The following are the 10 principal Upanishads, a list. Okay, continue, Bhagini.
The following are the 10 principal Upanishads. Ishavasyopanishad. Kenopanishad. Kathopanishad. Prashnopanishad. Mundakopanishad. Mandukyopanishad.
Not Mandukyo, Mandukyo.
Mandukyopanishad. Taittiriyo Upanishad.
Taittiriyopanishad. You have to press the takara a little bit.
Taittiriyo Upanishad. Bruhadaranykopanishad. Chandogyopanishad. Aitareyopanishad.
Fantastic. I think now this is the best exercise you can give to your tongue. Okay, excellent. Well read, Bhagini. Okay, continue reading.
Here's a shloka which helps in remembering these. Isha kena katha prashna munda mandukya tittari
Tittiri.
tittiri
Hmm.
aitareyam
Hmm.
cha chandogyam
Chandogyam.
chandogyam bruhadaranyakam tatha.
Well done. Okay. So, Ishakena katha prashna munda mandukya tittiri aitareyancha chandogyam brihadaranyakam tatha. Okay. It sounds like a mantra now. It's just a list of the names. Such a beautiful language this one. Okay. Continue reading, Bhagini.
Darshanani.
Huh.
In
No,
this,
I'll just stop a bit. So Upanishad earlier, what we saw, what we also collectively call as Vedanta. Of course, Vedanta is little more than Upanishad. Vedanta word means all the Upanishads, and we pick up the Bhagavad Gita as the Upanishadic part of Mahabharata. So we call it actually Gita Upanishad. Some people call Bhagavad Gita as Gita Upanishad. So it gets included in Upanishad in that way. But though it's not part of the Vedas, it's part of the Itihasa from Mahabharata. But then also one more Grantha, okay, there's one of the Darshanas is also a Vedantic text, and that is the Brahmasutra, or we call it Uttara Mimamsa. Two alternative names are there, Brahma Sutras and or Uttara Mimamsa Shastram. So that is also part of the Vedanta. But first we learnt about generally about Upanishads, about 108 of them being there. That's a questionable number, by the way. Some shakas claim some of Upanishads of their own, so it keeps growing. Okay, but 10 principal ones, actually 12. Some people take two more. Shvetashvatara is not there here. Shvetashvatara is considered critical. One more Upanishad, I am not able to recall the name now, is considered critical also. So, the pinch of salt, we can say 10 plus 2 also. Then now they have come to this another term. See, we know that Vedas are there, then Vedanta is a part of that, and then there are concept of darshanas also in the Samskrita Shastras. Okay, whereas Vedas are considered as direct word from the god to the rishis. So the rishis through their dhyana have obtained the Vedic verses directly from. So it's called as Shruti because it is heard. Okay, it is not thought. It is not thought out and written or anything like that. It is considered as the heard truths, the truths that have been heard by the rishis, directly the word of God. That sense is there. But in case of darshana, the word darshana itself explains what it is. It is been seen by the rishis who wrote this. Okay, that means they have analyzed the knowledge they have gathered from the Shruti texts and come out with the summarizations in different directions to form the darshanas. Okay, so these belong to what we call as Smriti Grantha. So the entire world of Samskrita Granthas we can split in two halves as Shruti and Smritis. Okay, so don't confuse Smriti with certain Smriti titles, certain texts with undergo Smriti title like Manu Smriti, etc. You may have heard. They are also part of the Smriti, but Manusmriti, because it has Smriti in its name, doesn't make Smriti only narrow like that. Smriti is more than what is not Shruti, roughly like that. Okay, all right. So continue reading about Darshanani, madam. And because Darshanam is the Napumsaka Padda, so it is Darshanani. Upanishad, by the way, is a Strilinga Pada. Okay, Upanishadaha is a Stri Bahuvachana. Okay, continue, Bhagini.
in this world, some objects are perceptible, some are imperceptible. Among them, each object is unique. Its inherent properties are distinct. An investigation into the nature of these objects is philosophy or darshana.
Very beautiful explanation for why darshana, not just that simplistic artha that which is seen is explained. So this is actually going into analytical level of perceivable and imperceivable objects. Okay, So that's very nice. Imperceptible and perceptible qualities also exist. So it's more a philosophical text which goes into analysis of such things. Very nice. Continue, Bhagini.
Darshanas are mainly twofold as Astika and Nastika.
Astika. Bar. Astika.
Astika and Nastika.
I wrote that in Sanskritam above. In fact, in Sanskritam, we use it with the darshanam being napumsaka. We say astikam, nastikam to go with the napumsaka. Okay, astikam, nastikam, like that. Okay, and in English complex, you will continue to read on. It has some very, very weird name that is more applicable in the philosophical world within Christianity that applies, but it's okay to take that roughly as the translation of Astika Nastika. Okay, continue. Sorry, reread from this para, madam. Sorry.
Darshanas are mainly twofold as Astika and Nastika. That is orthodox and heterodox.
Correct.
Here the terms Astika and Nastika do not, however, mean those who accept the existence of God and those who do not. Astika Darshana is that which accepts the authority of the Vedas, and Nastika Darshana is that which does not accept the authority of the Vedas.
Vedas. Okay, so now this distinction is very important. Okay, some people confuse Astika as one who believes in God and Nastika as one who doesn't believe in God. At a very crude level, that interpretation is taken because somehow it has been translated in many places as believer and non-believer sense. Okay, so believers are supposed to be those who know. Apparently, you cannot say think. So those who know there is God, and non-believers are those who know there is no God. So I am always reminded of this beautiful statement: those who know there is God and those who know there is no God know nothing. Okay, very nice. Okay, so it doesn't mean a relationship to God or existence of God or anything. It is simple, more simple than that. The pramanas of the Vedas as the Shabda Pramana is accepted by the Astika Darshanas. Okay, whereas the pramana of the Veda as the Shabda Pramana is not accepted by Nastika Darshanas, but they are very much in the both Astika and Nastika belong to the Darshana category, and because there is otherwise a lot of relationship between them, just for the simple reason that one doesn't accept the Veda as the ultimate truth, doesn't make it a non-Darshana. It very much has a lineage that belongs. So that's why it is also taken in and treated, but it's identified. Its nature is very clearly identified. For example, take Sankhya Darshanam. Okay, we will going to see later. Sankhya Darshanam is a Astika Darshana because Sankhya Darshana very clearly in its own text talks about Veda being the ultimate pramana, etc. But nowhere in Sankhya there is reference to any Ishwaratva in a accepted sense, or tries to define the world outside the entity called Ishvara. It tries to define the world using the actual Prithvi, etc., like that. Okay, so it is an Astika Darshana because it doesn't contest the truth of the Vedas, but it doesn't mean it starts explaining God as an element of creation. Okay, so it's a very blatant example of, perhaps you can say it is a God non-accepting, but I would not even qualify it as God non-accepting. It doesn't go into the details of the entity called God in its explanation of creation. So you cannot term that as it is not accepting of, or it is deliberately ignoring, nothing like that. It doesn't just touch the subject. That's how I treat it. Okay. So, but anyway, so but it's a pretty much an Astika Darshana. So I think wherever you were, Bhagini, just continue from there. I
Yeah,
think you
thank you.
finished this paragraph, right?
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
excellent. So you can start with this one. Yes.
Astika systems are six: Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa,
Mimamsa.
Mimamsa.
Me mamsa, me mamsa, all dirgha. Me mamsa.
मीमांसा उत्तर मीमांसा
Don't do halant. Don't do halant. Reread that.
उत्तर मीमांसा.
Two things you should not do, Bhagini. You should not do halant. You should not introduce a pause. Okay. I know it is. I'm pushing you hard, but you are pretty much there. So I'm trying to clean it out for you. Uttara mimamsa without any space. Okay.
Nastika systems are mainly three: Charvaka,
Charvaka.
Charvaka, matam, Jaina matam, Bauddha matam.
Bauddha matam. Very good. So Charvaka matam, Jaina matam, Bauddha matam. I added matam, but you can go Charvaka, Jaina, Bauddha. You can also say Charvakam, Jainam, Bauddham. Because matam, if you can take the napumsakatva of that, you can just go Charvakam, Jainam, Bauddham. Like that also you can go. That's why English is not a good language. They just leave it open like that, Sankhya, like that. Actually, these also have their Sankhya, Yoga, like that it goes. Okay. Or if you attach, you can, one technique we do is, we just try to forget its linga and just attach darshana to it. So Sankhya darshanam, Yoga darshanam, Nyaya darshanam, Vaisheshika darshanam, Purva Mimamsa darshanam, Uttara Mimamsa darshanam. You escape. Okay. It's a very, very good escape, because not only you're adding value, calling it as darshanam, you are falling into the napumsakatva of darshana without worrying about how to go with analyzing this. Is it yogam or yoga, sankyam or sankhya, etc. Okay, last few things.
Since Buddha Darshana has 4 schools, as one
Here I have here, yeah.
Sautrantika,
Sautrantika,
Vaibhashika, Madhyamika, Shunyavad, Yogachar, Vijnanavad.
Okay, so the Bauddha Darshanas in turn has 4 schools. It has the Bauddha Darshanas. I'm sure the Jaina Darshana, if you go in, also will have. We know, no, we have Shvetambaras and Digambara class variations, and so that means they have some philosophical differences, which is why they some are Shvetambaris, some are Digambaris, like that. But they have not gone into that aspect, but they do indeed go into Bauddha Darshana school variations. So there are variations there. So 4 variations: Sautrantika, Vaibhashika, Madhyamika, or Shunyavada, or Yogachara, which is Vijnanavada, like that. Okay. So if you take splits of Bauddha Mata, you can say 4 plus Jaina plus Charvaka. You can call it also 6. You can look at it as 6 plus 6 or 6 plus 3. 6 being Astika and 3 being Nastika, and the 3 Nastika can be expanded. But again, Jaina also, if you expand, it could be more. So, and that way we will not go too far. Okay, it's okay. Roughly, we have understood this business. Okay, very nice. So with that, we have learned the Samskrita Vangmaya Parichaya. So now we go into relentlessly. I have to hammer you guys till the hour completes. I apologize. Bhagini has done an excellent job reading it. Thanks, Rupa Bhagini. Well done. Katha. So we need another volunteer who has not participated. Anita Rangaraj. Looks like a new name to me. Anita Rangaraj Varye, can you unmute? Okay.
Sir, actually, I'm traveling. I've just switched on. If I'm not very clear, I'm sorry. Now, should I read anything?
If it is difficult, I will call you some
Hello?
other time, Bhagini. You relax, you listen. I will call someone else too.
Sir, no. What should I read? I'm just asking.
Katha, the 6th section of 2nd Patha, Katha. Okay, what is happening,
Chatura,
Anita
Kakaha.
Variye? Your internet is breaking down because you are moving. So
Because
tower to tower,
I'm
there is some problem, I think.
yeah,
Don't
I'm
worry. You
traveling
just
and listening.
no problem. Listen in. You mute yourself. I will take somebody else's help this time. Okay, don't worry.
Oh,
Thanks
okay,
for
sir. Sorry,
making the
sorry.
effort to join regardless. Harshita Variye, you are unmuted.
Yeah.
You can help us.
Madami Mogade.
Vadat. So what you have to do, you know, you already know perhaps. So you read, start from Katha and read this and pause after every sentence and I will try to explain a little bit. Yes.
Okay. Ekah Kakah Asti.
First the title, Chaturaha Kakaha. Chaturaha, one meaning of Chaturaha means it's a qualifier to Kakaha, smart crow, smart crow. Okay. Katha is a strilinga pada, that's why it's Katha. Okay. Ekaha Kakaha Asti. We know I already told you Ekam, Ekaha, Eka, like that variations are there. Because now we are referring to one crow which is in masculine, Kakaha. We have to go Ekaha Kakaha. That is something you will learn later. It's called Visheshana Visheshya. This is the Visheshya and that is Visheshana. What is Visheshana? Adjective. So the adjective to a noun and the noun to which an adjective is given is called Visheshya. That which is described. Okay, Visheshya. And Visheshana is that which describes another. So Ekaha describes Kakaha. Okay, as one unique crow. Ekaha Kakaha Asti. So one crow is there. Once upon a time, we have to assume. Okay, continue, Bhagini.
Saha Bahu Drishatah.
Trishitaha, Trishitaha, Ikara, Trishitaha. So Saha, that fellow, that Kakaha, Saha Kakaha, Bohu Trishitaha. Very, very thirsty fella. That means he became a thirsty fellow. Means Trishitaha asti. Everything is in lat. So that because we haven't learned too many other lakaras, they are sticking to simple kriyapadas. As if it is right now happening, the story has been written. But the story probably is happening every day somewhere anyway. So it's still applicable. So saha bahut trishitaha. Now, Bhagini, you have to add some kaku into your reading. Okay. Be little bit dramatic. It's okay. Let your grandchildren or daughters all enjoy. Yeah.
Saha Jalartam Brahmati.
Saha kakaha, that kaka. Jalartham. Artham Shabda is in the for the purpose of that sense. Okay. Jalartham means for the purpose of water. That means to obtain water. Brahmati. Brahmati. Brahman karna. Brahmati. Okay. So it moves around up and down. Continue.
Sada Grishma Kalaha Asti.
Very good. Bhagini added asti. At that time when this whole story is unfolding, Grishma Kalaha asti. Okay, it is actually deep summer, Grishma Kala.
Kutrapi Jalam Nasti.
Kutra plus api, kutrapi. It's a sandhi. Kutra means where. Kutrapi means wherever. Okay, it is a technique. Kutrapi. So kutra, where, kutrapi, nowhere. Okay. Where also, that means nowhere sense is there. Okay. So yelli, yelliyu kuda. Same thing in Kannada, say yelli, yelliyu kuda. Kidar, kidar bhi. Okay. Api is same as B if you see. Api means also. Even in Hindi, same technique. Kidar, kidar bhi. I mean, sab jagah hai. ऐसा meaning आता है ना. Same thing in Tamil, Dravida Bhasha also we have the same technique. Your northern languages have the same technique. It's also Sanskritam also has the same technique. Kutrapi. Jalam nasti. Nowhere there is water. Continue, Bhagini.
Saha Kakaha Kashtena Bahuduram Gachati.
Now she introduced Saha. Bhagini is adding some quality here. So that same crow, Kashtena, this is Tritiya Vibhakti, we call it Karana Karaka, with difficulty. With difficulty. So the ena is the with sense of English. Okay. With difficulty. One of the with is applying in some cases. In some cases, other cases, we have to go to other grammatical extensions in English. But Karana Karaka. Kashtena. So kasht se of Hindi. Kasht se. So kashtena bahuduram. Okay, here they have added it to the duram. Earlier it was separated out. So bahuduram, far, very far, as a target, karma pada. Gacchati, it goes. So that crow with great difficulty goes afar in search of water is the interpretation we have. Continue, Bhagini.
Tatra saha ekam gatam pashyati.
After going far, over there. See, we had kutra, where, tatra, over there. Okay, somewhere earlier also we encountered these words, right? Tatra, over there, wherever very far he went. Saha kakaha, that crow. Ekam gatam, one pot. So because gata is the object, okay, and ekam is the qualifier to gatam, so it tracks gatam using ekam gatam, and this is actually in karma position. Though it sounds the same in karta position also, it will be ekam gatam.
Kakasya ati.
Pashyati. Pashyati means sees. Okay. Kakasya.
Kakasya ativa santosham bhavati.
Santoshaha bhavati.
Santoshaha bhavati.
Don't go into your default Tamil methods. Okay, be very careful. I am also used to do these mistakes because in South, no guys, all of us do everything business. We love this business. So everybody is Okay, so we do Santosha also Santosham, Kaka also Kakam, like that we do. So we have to fall out of that habit. That's all. Kakasya ativa santoshaha bhavati. Of the crow, enormous happiness happens. Okay, that is literal Butler translation, which means it becomes very happy. Continue. Begin.
Kintu gate swalpa jalameva swalpam eva jalam asti.
Very good. Kinto, but. Kinto is exactly like but. Gathe, in the pot. Saptami, adhikarana. In the pot. In the pot. Swalpam eva. Little bit only. That's the Indian English only business. Little bit only. Jalam, water. Asti is there.
Jalam katam pibami iti kakaha chintayati.
So the quote, iti ends the quote. All this symbology is all new. In the old Sanskritam, we just don't write this quote, question mark, nothing. We just go jalam katham pibami iti kakaha chintayati. When we see iti, we know automatically thing behind it is the quote. So jalam katham pibami uttama purusha. Kaka is thinking, so he's thinking for himself, no? Aham jalam katham pibami. So low in the pot. How will I drink this water? Katham, how? Okay. Iti kakaha chintayati. So the crow thinks.
Saha ekam upayam karoti.
He makes one plan. Ekam upayam karoti saha. See, upayam chintayati also can be used because they already use chintayati, karoti they use. See, they have shown how to extend this kru dhatu in a other dhatu sense. Upayam karoti, like that. Continue.
Shilakandam anayati.
Reread.
Shilakandam
No.
shilakandan anayati.
Shilakandhan anayati. Not one, many. Okay. Bahuvachana. Shilakandam. Shilakandam will be dvitiya ekavachana. Shilakandan is dvitiya bahuvachana. So many rocks as objects. Anayati. It brings. Kakaha anayati. Kaka is the subject. So kakaha anayati. Continue, Bhagini.
Gate purayati.
Kakaha gate purayati. All this kriya is for kaka. So kakaha gate purayati. Kim purayati? Shilakandan purayati. So we should bring the karma pada from Shilakandan, kakaha from wherever it is there earlier, or saha. Saha Shilakandan gate purayati. This is called adhyaharana. Adhyaharana. Even in paragraphs like this, the context has been set in our brain. So gate purayati, immediately no, it fills the gata with rocks, not something else. Purana means to fill, right? So gate purayati, in the pot, it fills it up with the rocks like that. Those rocks.
Jalam upari agachati.
So naturally, due to whatever principle, Archimedes. Our kaka was earlier than Archimedes. Jalam upari agachati, displacement theory. So the water comes up. Continue, Bhagini. Continue reading, Bhagini.
महोदय जलम् उपरि आगच्छति
Water comes up next.
सन्तोषेण जलं पिबति
Our crow with happiness. See again, this is also Tritiya Vibhakti, Karanakaraka, Santoshena. Earlier we saw where Kashtena, with difficulty. Now with success, Santoshena, with happiness. Nakara is due to some rule, we will come to that later. So Kakaha Santoshena Jalam Pibati. With happiness, it drinks the water. Next, Bhagini, last sentence.
ततः काकः गच्छति
Well done. Tataha. What is tataha? From there. Okay. Tataha gives two meanings. Locational meaning or temporal meaning. What I mean by temporal? Time. So time based also you can take it as space based definition. Tataha means from there or afterwards in terms of time. So you can take both interpretation. Both are correct. After drinking water only it can leave, and it can only leave from that place. It cannot be like a mantrika from some other place to leave. So tataha gacchati. It's almost a simply to teach us they have added that sentence. Okay. They ended with an apostrophe just for effect. There is nothing to do apostrophe there. Okay. So fairly nice story. So ekaha kakaha asti saha bahutrisitaha saha jalartam brahmati tada grishmakalah kutrapi jalam nasti kakah kashtena bahuduram gacchati तत्र सः एकं घटं पश्यति काकस्य अतीव सन्तोषः भवति किन्तु घटे स्वल्पमेव जलमस्ति जलं कथं पिबामि इति काकः चिन्तयति सः एकम् उपायं करोति शिलाखण्डान् आनयति घटे पूरयति जलम् उपरि आगच्छति तदा काकः सन्तोषेण जलं पिबति ततः गच्छति. Like this we have to read slowly. Okay, if you can develop this kaku as if we internalize Sanskritam language as another language that we know intimately, you will feel very happy. Okay, all right. Thanks, Bhagini. Excellent reading. Very helpful, Arshita Bhagini. Where are you from, Bhagini?
I am from Bangalore, Mahodaya, Jalahalli.
Jalahalli. Oh, our Bengaluru, madam. Okay, thanks.
Padmavati Mahodaya, Mama Putri Nama Arshita.
ओ भवत्याः नाम पद्मावती. भवती उक्तवती आसीत्. क्षम्यतां, चिन्ता नास्ति. इट् इस् ओके. वी कैन कॉल इट हर्षितायाः मा, हर्षिता मा, लाइक दैट.
धन्यवादः.
अस्तु वर्य. So now we have some questions. Very good. We have come to the question part. Okay. Etesham uttaram likhata. Write the answer for these things. So we can crowdsource the answer. Very, very easy, guys. Kaha bahutrisitaha.
Kakaha bahutrisitaha.
Kakaha bahutrisitaha. You can go ekaha if you want. But that's your option. So ekaha kakaha bahutrisitaha. Well done. Saha kimartam brahmati. Jalartham brahmati. Very good. Saha jalartham brahmati. So to jala saha trishitaha iti jalasya abhavah asti atah jalartham brahmati. You can extend, but it's enough to give one simple answer. Don't worry about what I am saying. Ghate kim asti.
Ghate jalam asti.
A little bit more. Swalpam jalam asti. Very correct answer. You have to go swalpam. Very important for the story. Ghate swalpam. In fact, if you can add eva, it is even better. Okay. Ghate swalpameva jalam asti. Konchonda tanni irukku. And the konchonda da, that eva is very important to the whole story. Okay. Kakaha kim chintayati.
Kakaha
jalam katam pibami
jalam katam pibami iti chintayati. Mama chanchuna, chanchu is the cock, the its beak. So chanchuna jalam patum na arhami, jalam bahu adha bhage asti, katam va pibami iti chintayati. Like that is the larger expansion of the story, but it's enough to say jalam katam pibami iti chintayati. Very simple. Okay. Gate kim kshipati.
Gate
Shilakandan
Shilakandan
Kshipati.
Kshipati. Gate Shilakandan Kshipati. There they use Purayati version, but here they have gone for the more accurate Kshipati in the question. I like the Kship Dhatu more than the Purana Dhatu. Because it fills, it drops
what
the
is the
Shilakanda
exact
in the
meaning
Kanda.
of Shipati?
Kshipana
Shipati.
means to drop. To drop is to Kshipana.
Drop. Okay.
Purana is to fill. Okay. So first it
Purana
does
is
the
okay.
Kshepana. If it does the Kshepana, then Purana will happen. Yeah. So Kakaha
Okay.
Kshipati. Okay. So you see how accurate the dhatus are, no? So Kshepana, Purana. That's why Sanskritam we love. All our mother tongues have, used these more subtle variations to enhance our language. Okay. So with that, we come to the 7th section, Samskrita Vyavahara. So let us see what else. So we have Subhashitam also. Okay, I think we will call it a day. It's been a long day, so I don't want to press the point. So the next Saturday, we will catch up with this Vyavahara and Subhashita and do some exercise and conclude and jump into the 3rd lesson. Okay, so we'll have a little bit left over for next Saturday to catch up with. So thank you very much for joining today. With this, we are ending this katha. We are ending the class today. I'll do a prarthana for all of us. Sahana vavatu sahanau bunaktu saha viryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi om.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Dhanyavadaha.
धन्यवादः
धन्यवादः
धन्यवादः